Well, sometimes NRL Fantasy is just fun. And this is one of those weeks for me. It's been a big turnaround week. And it shows that you can have the slow starts. And I say that basically every year. I start fairly slow and we can build back very, very quickly, especially in the first sort of couple of months. Like that round 4 to 8 range. It's pretty crazy how many moves you can make and how many ranks you can achieve in that month of footy. And then you see other times in the bye period where things get really good as well for being able to make different types of ranks. So use my week anyway as some fuel to be able to turn your season around. Or if you're sitting in 1,000s, you can very, very quickly get into sort of the top 200, top 300 and push towards the top honors as well. So if you're 40,000, you can get to 10,000 very, very quickly and then push and push and push. I've had a few people message me last night. They've had a couple of good weeks now and we're sitting 40 odd thousand and now in sort of the top 7K and doing great work. So keep that in your thoughts and you got to enjoy these weeks when they come. And I do hope a few people did jump on the Wong train. Oh, how good is it? Feels good. Especially this game as well. We had Cleary, Yo, and Purdue. So if you owned all three, you're absolutely flying. We'll start with Jackson there with his 63. He picked up a try save, a turnover tackle as well when he pushed Alamotti out. Yeah, Alamotti out on that right-hand touchline. A try for him, a try assist, and this guy, he gets me excited for Cowboys footy. He is our most electric player right now. And actually, Murray Talangi on that left-hand side was great as well, and that shows the defensive woes as well. As good as those boys were, the defensive woes for the Panthers boys on that right-hand side defensively. So Jackson 63, he makes a ton of cash now. He's gone 50, 36 into the 63, and for a lot of people, he would have been rotting at the end of the bench with guys like Hubner, potentially Sanders Smith, these types of guys. Katonga. If you brought in Dylan Egan, if you brought in Jenkins, all these guys probably ended up pushing ahead of him, unless you decided that you're worried about Rob Toya up against Latrell and you decided to play Jackson with like a Stafford Toa or something like that, or a Katonga. Was probably the main way that you could have played him. But if you haven't, I don't own him in my side, and I'd like to, because he's now up and averaging 37 after that incredible 3-game stretch. It was a tough start for him with that low score, then the sin bin, got that absolute bath from Olakau'atu in round 1. But a lot of that wasn't exactly his fault. They just were incredible, and the Cowboys hadn't turned it around, and it's good to see back-to-back wins for the Cows. It's pretty funny. I was talking to one of my friends yesterday, and I was like, if Cowboys win tonight, they're going to be on the same wins as the Sharks, which is crazy, absolutely crazy. And they're ahead of the Panthers now with 2 wins compared to the 1. And that's the big thing coming out of this is the Cowboys winning in Sydney, but the Panthers, they don't have a home ground this year. They're playing at CommBank, which isn't their home, and you could definitely hear a lot of the fans, but it's not the same as out in Penrith. And they're just not playing that well at all. And yes, they don't have Edwards, they don't have To'o, 2 big names. They're missing guys from last year, Jerome Blue Eyes and the like there. But guys like Cleary and Yo, they're playing pretty well, and they just can't carry this side to victory at the moment. The defense that the Panthers are throwing out, it's unfortunately not good enough, and they will work it out. They will play better than this, but are they a top 4 team? And you can't say they are right now. You'd definitely say that they should be a top 8 team come the end of the year, but they need everything to go right. If they lose Cleary, if they lose Yo, something like that, one of the two, I think that they're in a lot of trouble to even make the 8 at this point. It's easy to say right now, 1 out of 5, sorry. But they're just, the defense is really leaky. And if majority of teams can put 4 or 5 tries on you, they're going to need a lot of attack. And they've got it for sure, but they don't normally win games massively. They don't go and put 30 and 40 on teams for the most part, especially during the regular season. It's a lot of, just showing their good defense and, putting on 24 or 30 at most, 30 to 12 and these types of scores. So that's the worry with this side right now. But let's get into the fantasy scoring. And Purdue, can you look at buying him? I don't think you can now. They got the buy in 2 weeks. What we thought was a tougher matchup. And it's something to have a look at as well. Across the next few weeks are the Panthers actually a tougher matchup that we've seen from them? We got a few good scores here from outside backs in Cows, which is wild. Their halfback got 59. You've got McIntyre, Drinkwater, all putting up good scores as well. So, yeah, it's interesting. But Nathan Cleary, 71 for him. A great return and his highest score of the year. So, to hurt the sellers. And with that 71 now, he's just going to clean up his break even over the next couple of weeks and he'll start making money again. So, he'll go down this week with the 100 break even. He'll be 750 odd and I'd personally suggest buying him back. He didn't play great. The team didn't play great. He was solid, but he's missing tackles. He had the error, but still got 71. So when the team actually has a good game, he only had the 1 try assist. He's running the footy. It's going to turn around for him, and he's going to score even better than that. So it was great signs to see him come out and do that, run the footy, get tackle breaks, get offloads, and this is much more normal stat line for Nathan Cleary. Isaiah Yeo, 68 for him. He's back in business, up to a 58 average now, and he really stabilizes that price, and it should start going in the upward direction if he continues with scores like last week with 65 and into the 68 this week. Picked up a lovely try assist as well to Luke Garner on that left edge, and what I noticed from Yeo in this one, he did only just have the 1 offload, it was to ground, and 1 tackle break, but the way that he was running at the line was more like last year and the year before, where he'd spot a little bit of a gap in the defensive line. So we're looking at if the normal defensive line was straight, he finds that little bend in the line and he targets that and usually picks up that extra sort of 3, 4, 5 post contact, and that's where he can potentially get the tackle breaks and the offloads, which didn't happen as much last night, but he was running like that. He was running to the line and hitting short with that try assist, and that's a lot of what we saw last year to get him to those crazy scores in the high 60s, 70s and 80s at the end of the year. 40 tackles for no misses. He's gone back-to-back really, really good games. And it just shows that first few weeks for him were really, really strange. He went 3 misses, 4 misses or whatever it was in that 30-point effort. And you look at the scores outside of that now, and he's back well into the mid to high 60s in the scores that he's had. He's got 2 68s, a 65, and a 60 in the other one. So about a mid-60s average, which is where he was. And he just had to take out that 30, and thankfully it's well in the rear vision mirror for myself that he can continue to score like this. And another 80-minute performance, another non-injury game for Isaiah. It's awesome to see and is great just sitting in your side. But yeah, after round 2, it was a bit of a sad one. But having Yeo and Haas now, it's a much better feeling. Purdue, we spoke about a really, really cracking effort from him and so excited. Clifford, another great effort, 59 for him, no missed tackles, so 24 made, 3 turnover tackles in this one, 382 kick meters, 58 on the running side. So Clifford coming in, doing great work, especially getting the couple of wins in a row. Your halfback's going to end up in a good spot, but if he can tackle like that, then he should continue to do well. So 61.7 across 3 games, very impressive, and I don't know if you can target him. If you bought him this week, happy days. But it's very, very difficult to do so, I think, knowing where he normally scores and then going through and looking at their upcoming schedule. Tough game this week into the bye, and then hard after the bye as well, I believe. Murray Talangi, 58 for him with the double. A great game. He was awesome on that left-hand side. Dane Laurie with 49. Got plenty of running meters in, 254, but they definitely miss Edwards. Laurie played much better in this game. Still had 2 errors. But yeah, they miss Dylan. Should be back in the next week or 2. He wasn't on the extended, so I wonder if they'll just name him straight up rather than mucking around with, maybe he'll just wait till he's ready. But they'll be starting to get a little bit desperate, I think. Come Magic Round, if they haven't got 2 or 3 wins, it'll be tough sledding for him. McIntyre with 48 in his 71 minutes, good work. Drinky with 47 with 3 goals, a try saver, 2 assists and a line break for him. A great effort in this clash, and if you do own him at 612k, the 47 is a little bit above where he's priced at, so you're happy with that. And to average 46 with this starting run, it's going to get nicer, and he's going to be a guy that if you've started with him or if you've bought him recently, you're in a pretty good spot now because he's scoring fairly well. We've seen him score a lot worse. We've seen him score better for sure. But going forward, he's going to be a guy you want in your side come Origin time when he's not going to be picked. So good little jump ahead of the pack on that one. Without it killing people yet, it's going to get there eventually. Papali'i, 46 in 41 minutes. He puts in that work, doesn't he? Which is good. But yeah, he's only being used for short stints out there. Robson with the sin bin, poor fella. Copped a bit of a rough one there for a guy slipping and caught him a little bit high, but Didn't feel like it was anything crazy, but the crackdown this week, he cops that. And for them to, I think they scored the try and brought it back to like 12 all in that time that he was away. So 6-0 to the Cowboys in that one. And I do have to shout out a couple of drops from Lindsay Smith, just cooking my boy Cleary's chances of getting, and Jenkins, a chance of getting attacking stats. And actually, speaking of cooking Jenkins' attacking stats, Casey McLean, my goodness, that pass or lack of passing. What are you doing, bro? That probably wins him the game. And he just absolutely butchered that. So, yeah, shout out to the Cows for getting the win. But that is a shocking one. And why was Jenkins put out on the wing and Casey McLean not? Coming into last year, Casey was a winger and they popped him in the centres. He did a pretty good job, but yeah, it was a wild one that ended up being the play. But yeah, draw and pass. Why do people, it feels very hoggish when they don't pass, when literally Drinkwater's in front of him. You pass it out to him. Drinkwater can't catch Jenkins. He's actually pretty quick, as we saw a couple of times. So that was gross. Absolutely gross. Lukey Garner with the 56 minutes for him. Good little effort. Nanai with 43, but Jenkins the 42. 2 line breaks, a try assist for him. Back on the inside, a couple of offloads again. That one on right on half time was great down that left-hand side. 166 metres for him. A couple of tackle breaks. Really good efforts. If you jumped on the train, he's got 53 into 42, which is great. If you played him, happy days as well. And actually just got some news. One of the boys just said that Tamale's gone up from 36 to 41. So, gee, that could have decided for me could be the decider for me to actually loop him, but I did trade Gilbert to Wong, so I shan't be looping this week. But yeah, Jenkins, really good spot for him. The team's not going great, but he's scoring awesome. McLean's 39. Boo. Should have been 44. No, that would have been line break assist as well. Should have been 46. And Jenkins should have 50s. But yeah, Lindsay Smith, a couple of drops there. Not his best game. Into lower minutes, 46. I don't know if it was just because he was a bit off and coach said, nah, you're having a bit of a rest today. I don't think he went off early for any reason at the end there. Did in 38. If you got Lindsay, just hold on. Just a bit of a shocker for him. Did in 38. Alamotti 37. If you own Alamotti, try saver in there. 1 line break. They just need to play better. If you own him, he's still getting decent scores without being spectacular. You just need a little bit better from him coming up. And they still have a nicer matchup next week. Bateman 34, didn't play the full 80, so he's someone that's just so up and down, averaging 45.5 for the year now. He's someone that you could easily use as an upgrade target to get to one of the guns, which is not easy to get to. So he's a guy with a good price that you can get there. Tamalolo, McLean, right? McLean's jaw. Hopefully he's okay. Robert Darby got chased down. That was a good chase, at least by Casey McLean. Well done. Isaac Tonga with the try and a line break assist. Sinbin, 3 missed tackles and 3 errors. Whew, tough times. And speaking of tough times, Jack Cole, 14 for him in this one. 70 minutes, 21 tackles, 4 misses, an error, 37 run meters. And it's getting closer to sell time for Jack Cole. Thankfully, we got the big score out of him last week and we played him and didn't play him this week for the 14. I see some people did, probably off the back of his really good score last week. And yeah, he's probably one of the guys on the chopping block. And if there's a cheapie that you haven't got yet as of next week, then he could be the guy to sell instead of someone like Sandon Smith who did come out and score pretty well. And at least Cole with the low break even, he'll still make some cash on that 14. And then Mitch Kenny, shout out to him for the coming back on after that injury. Very, very impressive. All right, speaking about relevant games, I personally have played 11 players so far, and I had Sandon Smith on my bench and Tamale on my bench. So I've had 13 players out of the 21 play so far, and I had 6 in this one on field with the one on the bench. So this was a very, very relevant game for me, and ended up going pretty good. And surprisingly enough, that we had Connor Watson, probably our biggest failure, but our most disappointing of the night. The only one that really went under expectations or where we wanted him to be, closer to his break even, definitely, but closer to where he's priced at. We still end up with a 47, which was good. Rabbitohs there defeat the Roosters, and this was just an incredible effort from them to lose 3 players. Lose your halfback in the first 5-7 minutes, and then to lose Cody Walker at halftime. We saw Hubner back on there. I was like, let's go, and then they're like, oh, Cody Walker's off. We're like, oh, that's not good. especially when I tipped the bunny. So this was one where I got away with one at the end after, the Sharkies getting dusted on the buzzer the other night. But just an incredible show of grit, and I wonder what's going to happen next week. It was great to see Latrell out there kicking him out in the full, scoring tries that get disallowed due to a beautiful Teddy try saver. We see beautiful cutout ball. We see his just damaging ball running. We see his offloading. Like, it was just an everything game, literally everything for Latrell. Kicking goals from the sideline, that was a beauty. So many good things for Latrell at centre, and then moved to 6 and was defending out wide. Players were everywhere. Jaden Sullivan had a really good try. It was just an awesome game for them. On the other side, Roosters, my goodness, it's tough viewing. Surprisingly enough, you have the top 5 scorers fantasy-wise from the Roosters, which meant they all got lots of tackling, and then you've got Tedesco being an absolute jet in attack, and Siwa Wong is as well, clearly. So let's go through the scoring. In Siwa Wong, 86. I was mentioning during the week that I was like, well, he's gone 50-odd in base 3 weeks in a row. I said, don't give him an opportunity to get attacking stats, and it's exactly what we saw this week with 5 offloads, 4 to hand, 1 for a try assist, 1 for a line break assist as well, back for Teddy on the inside. He missed 2 tackles early, and I was blowing up in the chat. I was like, yeah, of course, you buy him. He'd made 2, I think, at the time, 3. And then he dived at the legs for a couple and just missed them. And I was like, oh, Wong, what are you doing, brother? This is not what we pay for. I buy people and they get 10 missed tackles, or I start with Yo for the first time and he misses 3 and 4 a game. It's like, we don't do this. Come on, don't do it to me. And he didn't miss a tackle the rest of the game. So he had 3 and 2 misses and then made 40 straight to go along with his terrific running. And I saw he's got his knee strapped up. So hopefully it was just a cut or something like that. It looked like it was strapped, bandaging kind of thing, more than actual strapping tape. I'm not sure, just from watching on TV, but he seemed to run fairly free. And yeah, when you can make 55 in pure base, 43 tackles, 126 meters, which is what we've seen 3 times now, the 120 plus tackle breaks and offloads, and then can get the try assist as well, you're going to have a good game. You can't be a base stat king like he is right now, depending on the game and what's needed, whether it's 30-odd tackles, 50-odd tackles, 40-odd in this one, run meters, and then get some attacking stats and not be an absolute jet. So to average 58 now for the season, I think he's going to go up near 600, and I'm very glad that, yes, I missed the few weeks in a row of the 50 odds when I could have brought in him and Haas, but we move on. Yeah, we're past that now, and we've got him for his best score of the year. So that's where the wins are at, and you got to take them and run in this game. So very, very pleased with that one. If you did jump on as well, let me know in the comments. I'm sure there's a few. I did check the comments last night, and there was 2 people that said thanks for the Wong tip, and I'm glad some people could get on it because it was a very, very good game for him. Speaking of good games, Crichton, I thought he was pretty solid apart from that drop early. And it's hard to say that the guys were too dominant, but every time these guys got free running, they did some good work with the odd offload and tackle breaks and a line break for Crichton with big tackle numbers, 41 for him. So he's been a great option the last 2 weeks, 70 and 63 in his outings. Tedesco, just one of the best wing fullbacks we can have every single year, and he's showing that again. Unlikely to be in Origin if Edwards is fit and firing, which he should be in the next few weeks. He's got time to, he's got a month or so of pure footy to get himself right for this upcoming, Origin series. And Tedesco is there, doing well, but his team's struggling, so I'm not sure if they'll pick him there, but that lovely try-saver turnover tackle did awesome work for him. Nat Butcher picked up 58 in this one with 53 minutes. Very, very good work. 44 tackles, no misses. What a absolute jet. Nafahu White, or some people actually, I saw someone actually said they were keen on Butcher. So to buy him with 50-odd minutes in the middle, fair play to you. Nafahu White, 49 minutes in this one, so his lowest of the year. Second lowest, I think 48 in round 1. 49 for him with 50 points. He is just putting in that work. Didn't get offloads this week. He didn't get attacking stats. But the last few weeks, he's been incredible. And some people are like, oh, you picked right Wong over White. Both of them is the play. He's priced at 43, 42 mark and continues to deliver 50 plus scores. So they're both the correct option. If you have both in your side, happy days for you. If you have White, didn't buy Wong this week, no Whites, no Wongs, he's done a great job for you, and you're probably sitting pretty in the rankings for sure. So a great pick. Awesome work for Nafahu and continues to deliver. Totola with the try, good work from Hub Daddy on that one. That was a great pass. And then Watson, 47 for him. He got the rest, and that was the problem. If he played the extra 14, you should see him in the mid to high 50s, which is where we hope that he scores regularly. And 54 or so is where we need him to score based on his price. But picked up a line break assist and offload in there. A little bit of running, but he had the 9 in negatives. Yeah, 9 in negatives in the end, which was a bit tough. They gave him 2 points back overnight. I think one missed tackle or something. But yeah, a couple of penalties makes it a bit tough. And hopefully we can see him at 80 minutes. And if we don't, we will probably look to sell him in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks. I think we can pretty comfortably get 50 or close to it out of him, which is only sort of 50k down on his price, 50 to 60 down. With the odd game that he'll get higher than that, the odd game at 47, which is not the end of the world. We've seen what Grant's put up so far. So yeah, if you held Watson like myself, a 47, it's not the end of the world. And hopefully there's other games where he'll get that 80 minutes again when they need him to. He's very integral to them. Jai Gray, 46 with the try. He was awesome again. 5 tackle breaks, 255 run meters, doing great work down there at the back. And they definitely need him in the side. They've got so many injuries right now. I wonder if Latrell's going to play 6 next week and defend out wide. I wonder if that's going to happen. We'll see. Hubner, 46 with the try assist. That was a lovely little ball. He is an absolute terrier. He just tackles anything that moves, and it's so good to watch. It's scary when he dives at people, but he actually probably 4 out of 5 times when he dives at them, he chops their legs and he gets them down. So 4 missed tackles for him in the end. They fixed that up. I was like, they were just piling on missed tackles for him early on. I was like, what? I didn't see any of them. He had like 3 early, and I was like, and they gave him 1 when he was off the field. I was like, come on, bro, look after the brother. With 37 tackles, the try assist, the tackle break, 86 run meters. If he can get anywhere in the 30s and 80 odd run meters, then that's great. He also played more minutes though, so be aware of that going into the next few weeks. But if you did buy him this week, you're cheering. If you played him, I did. He's in my 17. Then you're happy with that as well. And got a little bit lucky with the injuries for him, but I think he would have played about the 50 mark. I think he would have come on at about 50 to go and played the last 30 to get him up near that, sort of low 50s or 50 type of mark. One guy I want to talk about is Rob Toya. For him to hold his own out there against Latrell, and he actually had a lot of good runs and good in and aways, and then Latrell just chopped him at the legs or dived at his legs and got him down, and against other defenders, he would have got through that. So that was very impressive. For him to get 46, all in base, like 40 in pure base, 28 tackles, 121 run meters, 1 offload, a turnover tackle there. Just incredible work, and super, super impressed with how that one played out in this game. And how'd that work actually with Wong? Did they change that? I guess they changed it to a turnover tackle instead of a try saver, which is what they had at the beginning. And they've got Teddy with a 9, which is well deserved for sure, because he was the one that knocked it out. But for him to do that, I played him, happy with that. He's averaging 41.4 now, and if he continues that, he's going to be well into sort of the early 500s or so. So another 100 or so thousand to make. And if you didn't play him this week, you probably played like Tamale, who apparently goes up to 41. Or you're playing Katonga, who probably gets 40 odd anyway, so it shouldn't matter too much. Latrell with 45, if you bought him this week, he actually had 568 kick meters. And he would have had more, but he kicked down the full twice for like 60 meter kicks. He's going to be a jet this year, guys. Gear up, get ready, because he's going to be hopefully mid 700s. And I think from that point, at a 55 average, he's going to kick plenty in general play, especially with Humphreys out now. He's going to kick so much again. And when he goes back to fullback, or he runs the footy a bit more, it's going to be special. But he was gassed in that one, and just very impressed to get the job done. Keep an eye out on him. Sandon Smith, 44. So a lot of good scores here from cheaper guys. And then Latrell with the warm-up game with that try assist was just incredible. Sandon Smith, the try early on, he got to 28, and I think he was like 27 at halftime. So he's 28 in like less than 10 minutes. So hilarious how it works with him. But he did pick up some points overnight from 38 to 44. 1 goal, 15 tackles, 2 misses, pretty good. 2 errors, 110 meters, and that's where he's going to get some attacking stats, which he did. A forced dropout in there as well, and 142 kick meters. So with a break even in the mid-20s, yes, he has a low score previous, but he's averaging 37.4, which should get him up closer to the high 400s, which would be cool if we can remove 20s And I think out of anyone in this side, he probably deserves to stay compared to Chad. He's offering at least a little bit on that left-hand side, and Chad, not so much. As much as I enjoyed having him as a Cowboys fan, he's probably going to be the one to go with their terrible start, unfortunately. Colin Matangi, 43, no attacking stats. They did pretty well on that left-hand side, or on the right-hand side defensively to shut him down. Sean Kepi, 40 for him, 56 minutes, big one. Lenu, 55 minutes as well, and PPM down. He just looks okay at best at the moment. He needs to run the footy with so much more vigour. Sullivan, actually with the try assist, sorry, shout out to him. Line break try assist for that one. Matt Mazzella's 35. Just wasn't going to be his game, it looked like, this whole time. But he accumulated, he played the full 80. Just formed his tackles, but didn't, they had the ball plenty in this one, which is where his tackle numbers were down a bit, but ran 70 metres, just got no attacking stats there. Steep Dong Young, Townsend, 30 tackles again. He's getting through the work. Moale, 34. There's with all the good picks and good decisions, there's the bad ones there, and Davy continues to show, and the Fahu White on the other side continues to dominate against me. Tass with the try at the end, almost stepped out. That would have been a heartbreaker. Billy Smith, good to see him back. It looks like Nwangani Tawaze, probably very short term, but will he make it back into this side, and who for? I don't think you can drop Rob Toyer after that, but can he drop Billy Smith? Probably not. I don't know. He played pretty good as well. Did have a couple of errors, but first game back in ages. Jai Arrow. Apparently they got a shout out Matt for Jai Arrow's score. So shout out to you, Nigel, on that one. And for the soundboard this week with the Wong. Fockety, 27 in 20 minutes. But Arrow, the low one, 27 for him. Not good there. After a pretty good start too. Collins looks like MCL injury. Hopefully he's back in that 4 weeks. Docker Clay, just the 14 minutes for any owners of him. Now that Watson is back and you've got the low score, he'll be a sell very quickly after that low negative break even. And then Godfrey's, no. 1 in 5 minutes, 2 to 4 weeks for the hamstring strain we are expecting. And just a tough one. Tough one to see. He's made so much money for us, and we're going to ride him into the sunset at 750, 800k, and we may have to sell him a little bit early. So that's the frustrating thing with injuries. Sometimes you could have the guy that's just flying and then he gets the injury. So we'll leave it at that for the fantasy analysis there. And then just a quick one on the Supercoach stuff before I head off to work. But the Panthers there, we had Cleary with a 79, Jenkins with a 59 that should have been a top scoring 90. And then Jackson Purdue on the other side with the 3 players I had. Didn't play Jackson, VC Cleary, which I'll probably just go for Payne Haas. I don't really want to drop anyone in my side here. Casey McLean with a decent score. Should have been more. Alamotti, 44. Tungo, 45. Not great there. Cole, after the ton, picks up a 16. And then on the Cowboys side, Drinky, 70. Pretty solid. Bateman, that's probably it on their side. And then the Bunnies guys, I had a lot of non-players in this game, so I only played one guy, Nafahu White, for 53. Hubner with the try assist, Sandon with the try, 65 and 67. Man with the lower one, 37. Rob Toyer, didn't play him, but kept him in the side, 44, and sold Arthur's instead. But Wong, I was like, I definitely have to get him in one of my teams, so wish I did both in the end, but he got 104. Teddy, 97, was great as well. If you brought him in, captained him, you're happy days with that. And the Trell with a 43, so keep him in your thoughts. Probably once he gets his first price drop, he'll be perfect we're right for the picking for about a month before Origin, which would be good. And that's it. We'll leave it there, guys. Thanks so much for joining in for the Friday night analysis video for Fantasy and Supercoach. I hope it all went really well, and we'll catch you in the next one tomorrow.